Going for a 4-4-2.
He didn't know what was going on in the room.
Phyllis managed to refrain from swearing.
He said, if you've got a problem with me, let's sort it out in the gym.
He's exactly the same as our lot. The thing is...
Oh, no, what? Come on! Come on! Where has that come from?
Yeah.
They brought through the door. Yeah, look at the...
What a performance. What, you know, the guys...
No, that was ruled off. Quite a stupid thing, but
Live from South Space at the supporters club. Right.
But he was getting a bit tired, I thought.
Come on! There we go! Come on! Come on! Yeah! Go!
Welcome back to West Ham and United. You've just witnessed West Ham steal a victory under the noses of Big Fat Sam. Before we move on any further, I'm going to bring on one man and one man only who's got the best message he could possibly send to Big Fat Sam. Nigel, what do you want to say, mate?
Get in that championship where you belong.
Thank you, Nigel, and we'll see you soon, mate.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. Listen. West Ham have guaranteed European football for next season. As it stands, we're going for the European Conference League.
No.
As it stands,
We're in the Europa League. As it stands.
No, as it stands. You know what I mean? Sorry, guaranteed Europa League.
Oh, we're
guaranteed
conference.
Yeah.
Guaranteed conference.
Guaranteed Europa League conference.
Yeah.
So listen. Welcome back to the channel. Keep your comments coming in, and yeah, Nigel, straight over to you, mate. We stole that victory, didn't we?
I don't know about stole it, but it was a close run thing, wasn't it? I mean, it was a 50-50 game up until probably the 80th minute, and for me, we think that the pace on the break for some reason, because there was room behind them to break through. But even when we were getting the ball, we were slowing it down and checking back. Fornals seemed a bit off the pace. And hey-ho, luckily it was the set-piece special, Ogbonna at the back post. Pops up to arm it into the goal. Sorry, head it into the goal.
I'm sorry, that never came off his arm. I don't understand what they were looking at.
It didn't. He's just winding us up.
But when VAR started looking at it, I was like, what are they looking at?
Well, that's the problem. I mean...
Guess who's been voted player of the game? You're going to be shocked.
I'd say Fornals.
You'd say Fornals, Lingard.
No.
Yeah.
No, there was one moment where he had a run down the line and the ball was put there, and even the commentator, when Lingard's on his heels, you know, when he first went to West Ham, he was running down on them. Yeah. No, not for me. I'm not sure about Fornals either, who manned in the match. Dawson, I thought, had a good game.
I'll tell you what. No. Wait. What we need to do is we need to dissect the game. This is a review, so we'll go back to the starting lineup. I'll pass this one over to you, Nigel. Thoughts on the starting lineup? Benrahma started instead of Bowen. We spoke about it beforehand. Was it the right decision?
Oh, it's funny.
You need to answer that one first before you answer what was
it the right decision? Well, it's Moyes' decision. Who's to know whether it's the right one or not? At the end of the day, the funny thing is, Bowen comes on, we win the game.
Yeah.
But I think I said last time is that, you know, it puts pressure on the person in the shirt because he's going to get 65 minutes to do something. And if he don't, you know, he's going to hook him. Benrahma was really harsh taking him off. When you look at the way that Fornals and more importantly, Lingard was playing, it wasn't, I'm not going to pop it, but when you look at the three people he had there to take off to bring Bowen on, Lingard was the one not really pulling up trees in the game.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. So, and I mean, but from the off though, still, I mean, literally in the first minute, we find ourselves going through on goal. Antonio 1-on-1 with the keeper. The keeper bosses into Antonio, and West Ham get a penalty. What impact did that have on the game when Declan Rice stepped up and missed it?
You can't. You want to think that it didn't have an impact, but as the game sort of wore on, you started to think maybe it did, and because our passing was a bit lackluster, our movement was almost non-existent. We looked like we were laboured, and it's the irony. We said before the game, if we can get off to a quick start, we'll have the game wrapped up. And what a gift! What was it? 2-3 minutes into the game.
Was it a penalty?
Yeah. I think
46 seconds, wasn't it?
I think if that happened to our if our keeper had done the same, I think they would have given that as well.
I've got a funny story for you that I'll share now.
Go on,
so
then.
Obviously I was in the shed.
Well, there you go. Look at that statement
Have you seen that,
at the
Sean?
bottom.
So
Big Sam has
Nigel.
left West Brom.
Matt,
better.
you do know it's Nigel, don't you, Matt? It's not Sean.
So I did say, not Sean. Sorry, Nigel.
I'm ignoring it. So I've run down from the shed and put the game on, and I'm watching the game, and we nearly conceded. And I thought, God, that was lucky. And then they showed Mane's picture. I'm watching the wrong game with Burnley. I switched over, and it's 0-0. And then in the chat room, they're talking about Rice, and I'm like, what did I miss?
You missed the penalty.
And
Like
they're
he did.
talking about a penalty and everything. I'm like, well, I had the Burnley game on. I thought it was West Ham.
Dear.
So that was my start to the game. I'd not even seen the penalty miss or anything.
It was a poor penalty.
Why
He
did he
smashed the
take
ball.
it?
I mean,
It wasn't a poor penalty.
I don't think it was a poor penalty. He's put it in the right corner. He's just hit it too
I
far
don't know
over.
if he did.
It's
I
at
don't
the
know if he
post.
did. I think he
Yeah,
should
the
have. I
post.
think he should have laced it the other way.
Well,
I think he should have put it to the goal.
Yeah, but it's a penalty. The point is, he's picked the right spot, except for the fact he's just gone, like what Matt said, if it was a inch to the right, it would have gone off the post and in. He's totally beat the keeper. No ifs or buts about it. It's just, is it what's this?
So we're going to Germany and by Frankfurt and Leverkusen. We're going to Turkey. Well, you lot are. Going to Genk, Alkmaar, Ukraine.
Are you still
and
Famagusta?
Cyprus. Anorthosis Famagusta in Cyprus.
Yeah, but still,
Whoa.
you're not allowed that side.
At the
No,
moment-
it's the Greek. It's the Greek one. It's the Greek
At
one.
the moment,
Oh, was it?
the
Oh,
Italian
yeah.
team in the Europa is Juventus.
Oh.
Listen, there's a
I'll
question
tell
I want to
you
talk
what,
to you about.
boys.
There's a question I want to talk to you about this, and I'll put this one over to you, Matt. Is there something in when the penalty is awarded in the 47 seconds in, but the penalty is not taken until the 3rd minute? Do you think that is a bit of pressure on the players? Do you think there's something in that?
It depends if anyone's standing behind him and he's giving it all to beat them. I mean, you'd ideally want to take it as soon as possible. You don't want to be standing around waiting to take it. But that being said, it weren't like if he'd have like scuffed it or shanked it or blazed it over the bar, you could go, yeah. But he didn't. It was a very good penalty. He put it 2 inches too far to the left. And you can tell how hard he hit it.
But you know what? The keeper was going the same way, so the keeper might have got it.
Went past him.
Do you reckon?
It was past him.
Yeah.
I don't think he had a chance of saving it. You see how hard he hit it because he bounced that 25 yards out. He missed everyone in the box.
It's really what's really happened though is we've missed that penalty, and then after that, West Brom started to take control of the game. What was your thoughts, Nigel, in the first kind of 20 minutes? Because really we struggled to get a hold of the ball. I know you've kind of dissected it a little bit, but
I missed the first 5. But,
So talk to me about how they took control of the game, and the game was kind of passing us by a little bit, wasn't it?
I mean, we're linked with Pereira. I've not seen it's the first really time I've seen him play, and bring him in. That's what I'll say. If ever there's a player, I mean, I've focused on Traore and Sam Maximum, because we've got to look at players similar to do the job as what Antonio does. And you're thinking, well, actually, if we can get Pereira, there's a 25 to 30 million pound player there.
Yeah.
And well worth the money. The delivery for the corner, his set piece deliveries.
Right.
The way he runs onto the ball. I think if he could work with Moyes, and Moyes will make him a better player.
Yeah. And I want to bring up this point here, and this is the absolutely fantastic delivery, like you said, Nigel. But still, my biggest concern is, and we'll never really know, is Randolph shouting for it? Because look, there's not a West Brom player near that ball apart from behind
I don't
Randolph.
think he is, but I don't think I'm going to give Randolph that as an error. I don't think he did shout for it. You know, Soucek did what a defensive midfielder is expected to do to try and clear the ball. It's just unfortunate. Instead of it coming off the front of his head, it came off the top of his head and beat the keeper. And I can't blame Randolph.
Yeah,
me, lad. I can't blame. So no, he didn't shout for it, but I still don't blame him for that goal.
Matt, apart from the first 5 minutes, I thought Benrahma had a decent 5 minutes in the first half. He ended the first half well, but talk to me about Benrahma's performance tonight.
You know what? I think we all said the same. Look, we was a bit baffled when he came off. He was the guy that was trying to make stuff work. He was the guy that was getting on the ball. I mean, he was, yeah. I actually thought he had a really good game, to be fair. I thought he was unjustly subbed when he came off. I thought if anyone was going to get us back in the game, anyone was going to get us going forward, it was Benrahma. You know, he had that really good, was it in the first half, that shot that Johnston tipped over the top of the crossbar? Made good save on it. I mean, he should save it, bit of deflection, but it was still a good save. And he was, you know, some of his final balls were poor, but then again, a lot of the final balls from all our balls in were poor, to be quite honest. But he was getting on the ball more than Lingard. He was carrying it forward more, trying to make the pass, trying to link up. And I thought we had a good game. Like, I've been on it saying, I've been on it before slating him, especially in the player ratings. I think I've given him small for rating some games this season, but I thought we had a good game. And I thought if anyone was going to get us back in the game, it was going to be him for the way the game was going.
Same over to you, Nigel, then.
West Brom, but he was one taking it by a scruff of the neck for us.
Yeah, but Benrahma, Nigel.
Yeah, as I said earlier, there was, for me, two players in front of him who should have been taken off. As Matt says, he had that shot from outside the box in the first minute that I saw. I think it's probably after about 6 or 7 minutes. I mean, he controlled the ball well to put the crossover for Soucek. He was a busy player, always looking to take the ball. And that's what I said. I thought Lingard was a bit lacking and missing a bit. So, the way I see it is he's getting better now with every game. So next season, we might see why we paid the money we did for him.
Yeah. Still, West Ham coming close to the first half. It wasn't a great first half. However, we went in after scoring a goal to equalise 1-1, thanks to the man Tommy Soucek. It was a great ball in over the back post, and Benrahma crossed it in for a tap in for Tommy Soucek. Tommy Soucek, since Declan Rice has come back in, he's pressing forward a bit more. I know it wasn't a fantastic game for West Ham, but he is in and out of that box a bit more.
Now,
what do you think of?
He's got the capability now, hasn't he? Because he knows he's got Declan that will sit behind him. If he goes forward, he knows Declan will guard the defence. So it kind of like it wasn't a classic performance by any player in a West Ham shirt, but Soucek went further forward tonight than I've seen him go forward for the last 6 or 7 games. And he was there where you need him. 10th goal for a defensive midfielder. I mean, that's just brilliant, isn't it? Yeah. And it looked like he was the sort of player that we kind of fall in love with, over the past season and a half. So great, and what a time to get a goal back! Because I think if we'd have gone into the end of the first half 1-0 down, I think that would have disheartened us a little bit. But that gave us a little bit of a perk, really, and great timing and a decent goal. And Benrahma created that, brilliant.
Yeah, Nigel. I mean, you can't help but deny and think that we all know that Rice was missing in that team when he was injured. It's having a positive effect on Soucek because we are starting to see him going forward. How did you think of his performance tonight?
Yeah, Soucek was getting forward a lot. I mean, frankly, I don't know how many other players have done it, but I'd give their goal to him. For me, that's an own goal by Soucek. Yeah. Even though the ball was going in, I think you can clearly see that Randolph would have got there. without his touch. But having Rice frees him up to get forward more, which benefits us. The funny thing about when Rice weren't playing was the results didn't suffer a lot, but Soucek's game did. So obviously we want Rice next to Soucek because that frees Soucek up. Because he is like a box to box. I'm not sure he is what I would call defensive midfielder. He's like a box to box player of that ilk, sort of like Lee Bowyer back in the day when he was at Leeds. And he would tackle on the penalty area, and then the next minute he's running onto the box and putting the ball away.
Yeah.
If we're going to progress in Europe, we're going to need him on his game as well, because with the European style of football, hopefully. Before people get carried away with your passports, though, remember, we need to be drawn against an Icelandic team or a Portuguese team to be able to go anywhere at the moment, people.
Let's hope that changes next season, mate. Let's hope it changes.
Well, it's only August, isn't it? From what I'm hearing, you'll be lucky to have 50% of fans in the stadiums in August.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Listen, I know you've mentioned him already, but every single time he got the ball, Pereira really did light up the stadium. I think there was only 5,200 fans in the stadium tonight, but he certainly is a player that we should be interested in. Still, I mean, he does light up the game, doesn't he? I mean, he's been involved in 17 goals for West Brom this season, a side that's struggling to score, that kind of conceding goals, but he's ran that midfield. He got the ball, he lit up things, he attacked, he penetrated the defence, he was shooting from distance.
Decent. As Matt said, if we've got 25 mil to spend on a midfielder, that's 25 mil worth spending. He's had a season. Is that his first season in the Premier League?
Yes.
Yeah. So therefore, he's had a season in the Premier League. He's proven to be effective. And if we don't get, I know everyone's hoping on Lingard, but even if we do get Lingard, he would be a great addition to the squad. But then if you got both, then an awful lot of questions to start being asked about Benrahma, and will Benrahma stay? That you can see that happening straight away.
One or the other for me.
Yeah. Exactly,
frankly,
mate. Exactly.
I would probably go for Pereira first, but you got to move quick, really.
Got to move quick, absolutely. And he wouldn't be a gamble because he's had a season in the Premier League. But I'll tell you another player that I admired, and I didn't know he was on loan from Chelsea. Gallagher. Fuck me. What? I mean, he was breaking everything up in midfield.
He absolutely dictated play. He was all over the shop. He covered so much ground tonight from every position in that midfield, and he absolutely dominated the play. I mean, listen, we hit the post in the 65th minute from thanks to a Creswell free kick. Then we move into the game, and then we saw Diangana come on for West Brom. Matt, thoughts on Diangana?
I thought he was quiet. I'll be honest. I was worried when he came on, because we know what he can do. But I don't know if the injuries this season and playing under Big Sam has ruined his confidence, because we know he was good friends with Bilic, and that was one of the big reasons he wanted to stay. I don't know. It shocked me and surprised me how poorly he played, but I don't know if Big Sam's had an influence on that, and he expects. Because don't forget, realistically, Diangana's a bit like, Benrahma, that you don't want him doing defensive stuff. Yes, get him to help out when he can, but you want him doing the attacking stuff. Big Sam doesn't want that. But having said that, they've said Big Sam's going after the game on Sunday, so whoever comes in, realistically, if they keep Benrahma and Diangana, they put their arms around him, because that's what he looks like he needs. He looked a shell of himself. And dare say it, and I don't want to get triggered or anyone attack me, but retrospectively, hindsight 2020, looking back now, I think we had him over a table for that money we got for him. I don't think he's worth anywhere near that amount of money right now. If you're saying you'll pay 25 million for Pereira, you'd only pay about 5 million for Diangana. He looked a shell of himself.
Yep.
Has he been injured? Was it?
Yeah, he has. He's been in
yeah,
that
I think
injury.
this is the thing. I thought he had some good touches when he came on. There was one point where they had a break on and the ball come out to him and he stumbled with the ball, but he then regathered the ball and still managed to break past two of our players.
I think though, Nigel, I seen that and I thought to myself that would be the kind of that's the moment. That's him living in the moment. You know, fans are in the stadium. He's coming on against the club that got rid of him. It was controversial at the time. And he's probably been G'd up for it. And I think after that, he did kind of dwindle away, didn't he?
This is the thing. If you look back at when we let Grady go, there was a big fuss. It played against, I think, Ipswich, set up 2 goals for Haller. Everything was possibly looking good for him to come in after the season on loan. He'd done well at West Brom last season. And then there was we sold him for 18 million because we needed funds. The fans erupted. And for me, it wasn't so much an eruption about Grady Diangana, is what the message was of selling a young player that's come through our academy, just like that, discarding him in a way, to bring in Benrahma. Now, is that an upgrade? Is Benrahma an upgrade on Diangana? I mean, as someone that loves the academy, and I want Diangana, but yes, you have to say yes. So therefore, something the owners got right. One thing I will say is, after the Brighton game, the word bottled was used against West Ham by West Ham fans. And I hope this puts an end to it, because this is a disgusting word to use, because it disrespects the players and the efforts that they've been putting in.
I don't think we've bottled games. I think we've lost our way a little bit, but that's not bottling it.
So
I think we
I don't we bottle it. We got out tactics.
Yeah,
I think the season caught up with us.
The season's caught up with us, but there have been potentially, and I think I've said it several times now, over the last sort of 5-6 games, we've had 3 teams, different teams, who have played in a particular style against us that has stifled us, and that's Chelsea and Everton and Brighton. And we kind of got away with a point with Brighton. But what all those 3 teams did was they just sort of went, actually, Brighton maybe not as much, but certainly Everton and Chelsea, for a Chelsea
sat deep against us,
sat deep and went, come on then, what have you got? And that's where we've been found a little bit lacking lately. Whereas when we hit on the counter attack, look at the way we were playing at the start of the year. When Lingard came in and we were hitting teams, we were sitting. And as soon as we got the ball, boom, 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 and we were scoring really fast goals. And now a lot of teams have sussed us out and they've gone, come at us, and I think that's, for Moyes to develop this team, that's what he's got to get. And like someone like Pereira coming in, and maybe, in keeping Benrahma as well. If we don't get Lingard, if we get someone like Pereira and we keep Benrahma, and we don't manage to get Lingard, I'm not going to be altogether I'll be upset, but not really sort of downhearted, because Pereira tonight, he was doing what we were expecting Lingard to do tonight. He was dictating the game. He had pace, he had ideas, and Benrahma could actually play really well off someone like Pereira.
Yeah. And that point, it adds to what I'm about to talk about. It's taken us about the 80th minute to actually see any of our forward line make darting runs. Any striker, any midfielder crossing over the defender to try and get the ball. I think it was at Fornals made a fantastic run for a nice clean pass through from Bowen in the 80th minute. And I mean, Fornals could have done better, but Johnston just stood up to the ball and saved it. However, that gave West Ham a little bit of a boost, and bang, 1 minute later, Ogbonna heads in a fantastic corner from a couple of yards out. West Ham go 2-1 up. Nigel, talk to me about Ogbonna's handball, as you said.
No, obviously, I think that's our 17th goal from a set piece. I think the next best team has got 13.
Very Allardyce-esque.
Well, you say that.
I'm just saying it to wind you up, mate.
Yeah, it would have worked before the game, but not after. we've got some great crosses of the ball. Creswell can put a good delivery in. Benrahma, when he was on, can put a good ball in the box. Bowen can put a good ball in the box delivery. So it's good to utilise it. And if you look at the height we've got in Soucek, 6'5" Soucek, Dawson's got to be 6'4". Ogbonna again, it is amazing now. We are the team with the most set-piece goals, and yet we're still scoring them. It only takes that one chance, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And we did try it, I think, 2 or 3 times to hit the back post. Ogbonna, I think he had a couple in the first half.
Yeah, he did. The corners were kind of going to the back post.
So
he was
it
kind
was
of finding
obviously
his way up there.
what we're working on. And it is all about the delivery, because when it's put there in the corridor of doubt, as a goalkeeper will call it, along that 6-yard area, especially now that it's packed and he's got players to come through. Yeah. And the back post one that swings out and swings back in really takes the goalkeeper out of it as well.
Yeah. I mean, listen, still at that point, we're sitting here and we're saying we've stolen a victory. We're taking the mick on the match day live, but it's true. We felt like we'd maybe stolen a victory. 5 minutes later, we bang up, we go on an attack again, and that man himself, Antonio, bangs in.
Yeah, I mean, they brought a forward on, didn't they? For
they went chasing
or
it,
something like that, and they went chasing it. The minute they did that, you just knew it was only a matter of time before we might get another one. And the irony is, the 2 players that I think were the most ineffective up front tonight were Lingard and Antonio. And I was screaming out, I think we should sub Antonio for at least 20 odd minutes or 30 minutes of the second half. And then what happens? They both proved me wrong. But West Brom were chasing the game. They were knackered, and it was 3-on-1. And if we didn't score out of that, fuck me, even I could have fucking scored 3-on-1, and at my age, that's saying something.
Walking football.
Yeah.
Walking football. You know what? I actually thought we were going to mess it up, because Lingard got the ball, broke forward, 3-on-1, 2 either side of him, and he slowed down. And I thought, what are you doing? Just park the bloody ball.
But see, that's the difference. That's the clever play still.
I know.
Down, and the player has to stop, and that gives Antonio the space to run into.
Yeah, which
he
did.
On moving, and close the space out.
And I was even slagging Antonio's running off the ball tonight. Like, instead of fucking going to the ball, he was running off it, waiting for it to come to him, and he did it right. Right at the depth, and he did it right.
There's a scenario for you.
Go on.
The 85th minute, on Sunday, and we get a penalty.
Who takes it?
But Noble's on the pitch as well.
Oh, Noble's taking it.
Who's taking the penalty?
Noble. Without a shadow of a doubt.
And you know why I asked that question?
Go on.
Because Antonio Noble are now on 46 goals.
I was just going to say,
one behind. They're both 1 goal behind Di Canio now.
Are they both, or is it just Antonio?
No, both are.
Is it both of them, or just Antonio?
No, they are both.
No,
They're
both of them are.
One behind him.
Antonio has now equalled Mark Noble's Premier League record.
No, Di Canio's got the record, 47.
No,
47.
Yeah, second place. Yeah. Mark Noble's got 46.
That's
right.
Antonio has joined Mark Noble in second place as West Ham's all-time Premier League goal scorer.
Yeah.
With 1 more goal to go. But, West Ham have walked away with 3 points, guys. Matt, here's a stat for you, mate. West Ham have won 31 Premier League away points this season, equaling our club record for most away points in a single division campaign, set in the 85-86 season when we finished in our highest position in 3rd. What's your thoughts on that, mate? 31 Premier League away points this season.
Isn't that as many as we got in the whole of last season for all games?
It's you know what? In fairness, it's reflective of the way we play. We talked about it earlier today. We've struggled the last few games because it's come towards the end of the season. The teams have gone, you know what? We're just going to sit back and you've got to break us down. Most of the season, teams have gone at us, so we're happy playing away from home. The way Moyes has built that team right now. Yes, we've played a couple of games the last couple of weeks and held possession, but our plan A is you have the possession, we're going to hit you on the break. doesn't work as well at home because you're supposed to be the team on the ball. So playing away from home, it works better. So yeah, 31 points doesn't surprise me when we're set up to be an away team. It's the style
the strange anomaly of this season with no fans and whatever is the amount of away victories that took place. If you look today,
you said that, didn't you, at the start of the season?
I've said it all throughout the season. If you look again today, there was, I think, 4 away wins. So us, Palace, us, Arsenal, Villa, Liverpool. You know, so it's been one of them seasons. But West Ham have actually done something different. Is we're now 50-50, are we not? Home wins, home points and away points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
must be. You said, it must be. We're on 62 points.
Yeah,
It must be,
we're on 62 points. Yeah.
Now, we were on 62 points after 37 games under Bilic, with an away game at Stoke where we were 1-0 up at half time. Mm-hmm. And I thought we were going into Europe then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't want to count the chickens before they hatch.
Look, the best thing for everyone to know is that Astragoo got relegated today. So as long as they don't win their cup final, we can't play them regardless.
Right. Well, let's hope they don't win the cup.
I was just about to bring it on.
Oh, go on, mate.
Let's have a look at the league table. This is the league standing as it is. West Ham have walked away with the 3 points. Let's just get into the nitty gritty. West Ham are sitting in 6th place on 62 points, 3 points clear of Spuds and Everton, who are on 59 points each.
Someone asked earlier if there's no way if we can still slip out of Europe, and we can't. That was it. We just needed 3 more points.
We can
technically, but because it's technically. If you look at this, it's Everton have gone. West Ham have gone 8 goal swing.
You've got to go an 8 goal swing.
Yeah,
exactly. We're
Let's
going to
get
have
this
to
right.
go home and lose. We're going to have to lose at home to Southampton 4-0.
And someone else winning 4-0.
Everton
are away at Man City.
And have to win at Man City 4-0. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, that ain't going to happen. Well, who knows?
I mean, for only the 11th time, in 121 years of West Ham, have we finished above Arsenal?
How many times?
11th. This is the 11th time.
Wow.
How many times have we finished above Spurs? Hopefully a lot more.
Yeah, a lot more.
There you go. So there's the league, everyone. You know, we found ourselves in a decent situation. You know,
so worst case. I mean, we could be caught up. Can we be caught up by Spurs? Yeah, we could.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
so they can still.
Spurs have got
if they win,
they've got
to go to Leicester. But if they win,
we don't need a point.
And we don't win. We need to turn over. Sorry, we need to turn over a.
We need a point.
We need a point.
We need a point.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. To make Europa League,
regardless.
I mean, but put that back up. Put that back up 1 second, because look how close we still are. Oh, all right. I know we haven't made it. But like, what? 4 points off Champions League, people.
What you're trying to say is the games we mentioned earlier on. Let's go back to the start of the season. Fulham,
where we dropped dropped points. Arsenal dropped 2 points. Newcastle games.
Do you know what though? Do you know what? The Newcastle games, I don't look at them as points, because Newcastle fair and square went up and deserved that lead. The difference is we threw away the Arsenal.
Look, I'm sorry. If you only take 2 points this season from Brighton and Newcastle games,
you don't deserve Champions
League.
Then
that's what we're going to end up with.
Yeah. Admittedly. Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's our review. European tour next year. Depends if we can go or not. As Nigel makes
live from Albania.
Well, look, the way I see it, Anton, is every home game you come to is a European tour for you, because you're going to be independent soon.
Mate, don't. I'll tell you what, without being political, if there's ever a moment that they ain't going to get independence, give them the vote right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a different.
Would you move down south, Anton?
I've done it once, mate. I don't need to. I'll just travel. because
but the thing is, you won't be allowed down here.
Listen, of course, I've already broke all the news. It's already been explained. If we do qualify, Europe is an option. It's definitely an option.
Yeah, but what did your wife say about it?
You need to remember still. You need to remember flights from me are cheaper than what they are for you. And actually, I know people that have travelled from London to Scotland to get elsewhere because it's cheaper.
I actually did speak to the other half tonight, and I said, if we make Europe, we're going to be going an awful lot of short trips in Europe.
I'll quickly tell you the journey I did to Palermo.
Did you, and you got out of it alive?
Oh, mate. I did a week there. Yeah. A week, yeah. And the day of the game was the wife's birthday. Anyway, but I to get a cheap flight, I had to fly to Milan, then from Milan to Rome, and then from Rome to Palermo, and that was £150 cheaper than flying direct to Palermo.
It's mad, isn't it?
But on the flight back, I sat with a West Ham fan whose wife was in Venice waiting for him, and he'd paid 50p for flights to Venice, spent a week in Venice, and then the morning of the game he flew down to Palermo for a £5. Yeah.
God, those were the days, eh?
And then he stayed a couple of days in Palermo and flew back home on Saturday, and I was on the flight home Saturday. I bought, mate, that is one place I would never set foot to again. Palermo. I'll tell the stories later. It's not for this show. We'll do a European tour, and I'll tell you.
Actually, that's what we should do. A show on European
good idea,
experiences.
Yeah. No. So, just out of interest, then, before we do go, if it is the Europa Conference League, people are asking in the chat. Does anyone know the setup of it? Can someone briefly explain?
No, what I was planning to do.
It's a group stage. Good. It's basically the same as Europa League.
Yeah, it's a bit like there's some pre-qualifying, then there's a league format, and then you start again with 32 teams
on a knockout.
On a knockout after Christmas.
Right. Okay.
And if you win it, you get winning the Europa Conference gets you direct access to the Europa League.
I mean,
the season after.
When you look at the quality of teams in the Europa Conference, you would like to think we would get far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we couldn't even get past Astragugu, so
no.
Could you imagine though? Could you imagine we did qualify and we got Aberdeen? Like it was the European team was up in bloody Scotland.
No, see what it is. I have read as well that I think because it's supposed to be cup competitions this year, supposed to get the places. You do go straight into the group stage. So if we finish 6th this year, if we finish it, we get the point we need. We won't go to the Europa League qualifiers. It's straight.
No, we go straight into the group stages. Yeah.
So you haven't got to worry about going to Aberdeen for a qualifier. They won't get that far.
Look, Nigel, we're past the watershed. Tell the story. Love to hear that story. I think we're going to have to do a special European show.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're right, actually. And do you know what? There could be a segment in preparation for European tour for new season. So we'll have a chat and see what we can do. That brings it into our review. This is.
Hang on, it don't. Nigel, are you available for voiceover bookings? I'm surprised Guy Ritchie hasn't snapped you up already.
Well, if you go onto Copper 90,
here
you'll hear my authentic voice trying to drown Sean out. I'm talking about East End pubs.
Listen, thank you very much for joining us, everyone, tonight. Of course, that's been our review, highlights and words show. West Ham walked away with 3 points at the Hawthorns tonight. Tomorrow, we've got a West Ham daily in the afternoon.
I'll do it, yeah.
Still, you're on that. I'm doing the daily on the Friday. We've got the player rating show tomorrow evening with Matt. It can't be with Jake, but also Matt. I haven't brought the news to you yet, mate, but I can't do it either. So I need to make sure we can get someone else to do that with you tomorrow evening.
Looks like you're on your own, Matt.
Yeah, no, we'll get something. Don't worry.
I could do it if need be, but
Yeah, we'll work on it. We'll see what's
Work on it,
happening.
yeah.
So make sure you join us.
Oh, look, there you go. Why don't
But
you
the
get
missus,
Nigel to
no,
do it?
I'm being you still. I
See
would
me?
do it, but
You
the
need-
missus has got the thumb on me head.
No, you're looking at the wrong bloke,
He
mate.
knows you. He knows you so
knows you
well.
still.
See, doesn't he?
knows
I've
you.
chucked him off because he just talks utter bullshit. You
What
know
he
so
does,
well,
what he
Nigel.
does know is he
There he goes. Look, he's just talks utter
Wank.
bollocks. There he goes again. Look, he doesn't even know what he's doing.
Scottish tarts. There you go. If there's anyone under the thumb, it's Anton. Why do you think he
Right,
sits
listen.
under the bloody stairs, mate?
Listen,
Come on.
that brings an end to our review. Thank you very
There we go. Let's get rid of both of
Yeah.
them. Much better stream.
At least his kids love him still.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's the important thing.
Well,
They don't know
hopefully
who
they
he
do.
is. It's just like, Mum, there's that strange man under the stairs
Listen,
again, Mum.
Thank you for
Why are
watching
you
West Ham
sending me
United.
to kiss that
Subscribe,
strange man
comment,
under the
like,
stairs?
ignore him. And West Ham are on European tour. Thanks, Nigel. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Stale. Come on, you Irons.